Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be mentioning a lot of swing trade idea setups. I asked on StockTwits, which do you prefer, swing trading or day trading? A lot of people seem to prefer swing trading, and I completely understand, because swing trading, the biggest pro is that there's a lot less stress. Because when you're day trading, unless you're experienced or have hard orders like limit orders, stop losses, you're gonna get burned most of the time, because these stocks move really quick. Not just low floaters, but in general. I see even large caps like Tesla, very volatile price action these days, so you really have to be careful, right? So a lot of people on StockTwits seem to have really bullish ideas for these stocks that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. And again, guys, if you're enjoying the videos, I appreciate if you like the video and comment. It takes like a second, and it really helps me share more videos, right, so I can help more people. And so the first stock, this is not in any order of which is better than the other. I'm just literally just listed the stocks that you guys are bullish on. I'm going to give my quick analysis, in my opinion. So the first stock I'm looking at right now, GIBO. This one, it has higher float, 727 million float. And this looks like a dead cat bounce type of setup, right? If you watch my videos, you know what that means. That's basically when a stock makes a big decline of more than 80%, in my opinion, 80 to 85%. And then you see a bounce that follows right after. And this is one of my top 10 strategies when it comes to day trading or swing trading, because this is when a stock falls this much, just based off technicals alone, not including news, not including any catalyst. A lot of times these stocks end up making a big bounce, which is nice opportunity. So this stock seems to be a Hong Kong type of stock, right? And if you remember any of my videos, what I used to talk about, Chinese, Hong Kong, Singapore, these type of stocks, they make really random big moves even without news. And looking at it right now, this stock used to be $24. Right now it's trading at 2 cents. That's like massive drop. I think for this stock, you really want to see, as soon as a volume confirmation, as soon as it breaks that downtrend, you could see maybe even 100% pop. And again, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. And everything these people are saying as well is not financial advice. And always do your own research and due diligence before getting into anything, because we're not financial advisors and we don't know guarantees, right? So this stock, you want to see downtrend break, in my opinion, and it could run a lot. All right, so nice pick to this person. Next stock, LASC. Lace. This one I had like several people, I think 3 people mentioned the same stock. This is one I mentioned for sure. I mentioned that thing like $3 a week ago. And looking at it right now, it's in a multi-day type of setup. If you watch my videos, you know how I talk about multi-day setups a lot, right? That's again one of my top 10 strategies. I'm just sharing my strategies every day for free, guys. So, you know, I hope people are banking, right? These are nice trade setups. LASC, this one is a micro floater, so it's more of my type of, like, it's right up my alley, right? Because guys, I like these micro floaters. 5 million float, multi-day setup. And I just did some quick research, and this stock seems to release news quite often. I just saw like this company released that they had orders. And when you see a small cap or any stock that consistently getting contracts, getting orders, that's a really nice thing to see, especially since these small caps, they have low market cap. So anything that adds value to their company, or anything that's a positive catalyst, is going to push these really cheap valuation type of stocks in a upwards direction, right? So another good pick to this person. And usually I said that I'm not going to mention more than 1 stock per person, but for today's video, I didn't have that many responses. I had like 10 compared to the usual. Last video, I got like 50 message requests, right? So this time I will be going over. So next stock, Hive. This one, higher float, 200 million float. This is another multi-day setup. Looking at it right now, you want to see that previous support hold. And this is a Bitcoin angle type of stock. If you know anything about my previous videos, I said that Bitcoin, crypto type of stocks are really hot. And you could see with your own analysis, right? These stocks make really big moves. The other day, these crypto Bitcoin treasury type of news are running like hundreds of %. And I mentioned months ago in advance that this is going to be hot, and Bitcoin just keeps breaking all-time highs. Crypto is really bullish. Everybody's talking about it. There's a lot of hype as well. So nice. These 3 picks were by the same person. Good picks to this person. Next pick is ABAT. This one, ABAT. It's a medium type of float, 87 million float. This is a battery metal company. It looks like a USA American company, which is really good, right? A lot of people in this type of sector, like batteries, minerals. In my opinion, I think America, these companies are what should be the priority, right? USA companies. And looking at it right now, it's in a really, really nice uptrend, really bullish, blue sky type of breakout, right? You saw that previous flat top breakout, and it did a A plus setup, which is make a move up, hold, make a micro pullback, make a pullback, and then it holds and make a newer high. It's like a higher high, stair step type of action. So technically wise, this is really bullish. Good pick to this person. And this sector is, again, same as crypto. You really, really want to keep an eye on this sector, like metals, batteries, these type of stock, like TMC. That was another one I mentioned many times, many videos, that is going to have a really bullish momentum for it. And it would just rip and face like multiple dollars since I mentioned the TMC. Is another company you really want to keep an eye on. I think I'm going to go over later in the video. So nice pick to this person on ABAT. Next one, BTBT. This one, again, I mentioned many times. This is a crypto type of stock, Bitcoin. And looking at it right now, technicals is beautiful. It looks like a cup type of pattern. If you watch my videos, you know that's my top 10 patterns, cup, technical patterns. And the stock is a higher float, 315 million float. And the thing with these higher float stocks is that most of the time, bears, they anticipate it's going to go down, because usually higher float stock, what ends up happening is they go up a little bit and they round trip. That means like it pops and then it just goes back all the way to the previous price. It's because when your stock is higher float, most of the time there's more shares to borrow and there's more like supply, right? It's basically economic supply demand concept. The lower the float, the bigger chance for a move up, right? If his stock is only like 5 million float compared to 300 million float, it has the same type of momentum. The micro float is going to reface, right? That's why I mentioned in pre-market a lot of times these micro floaters, and they end up ripping 100% in like a few minutes, right? So BTBT, this one, keep an eye on it. Looking at it right now, you want to see over $4 for continuation. This is a multi-day setup as well. Nice pick for this person, BTBT. Next one, PSTV, another one I mentioned many times. This one is a cancer theme penny, right? If you remember what I said in the previous videos, any biotech that has to do with cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, basically these 3 diseases, for the most part, are gonna rip face once it gets the positive type of catalyst you want to see, right? Because these type of diseases like seriously affect a lot of people in this world. It's not just Americans, like everybody around the world, like diabetes, cancer. So I really wish the best for these companies, and I hate it when I see bears, shorting these type of companies, right? That people literally save lives, like cancer companies, or you know what I mean? So this stock, looking at it right now, say multi-day setup, and it looks like definitely could continue higher. This was a great pick to this person. This stock is, again, like kind of not low float. It's like a 50 million float. But the thing with these bio companies is that a lot of times, even without news, people who are more longer term traders, like more investor type of side, like position type of traders, they tend to research these type of companies, especially when it comes to cancer, and you see a natural move higher, like a grinding type of action. So I definitely do think that's the stock a squeeze to 1+. Again, everything I say is not financial advice, but yeah, this stock is great. One thing that, to be honest, that I don't like is that fat wick on the left side. I genuinely don't like wicks. It's called shooting star or topping tail, that's what people call it. But other than that, it looks nice. So next stock, AEYE. This one, I mentioned it just yesterday, right? I mentioned that this was a micro penny. Anything around 25 cents or under is a micro penny. And the thing with these micro pennies is that a lot of times they make they really big moves up. This is because it's so cheap that when most traders, they can't afford to buy $50 stock, right? Think about it. If you have not a lot of money in your trading account, how are you gonna buy a lot of shares? Like for example, a stock that's $50, like what was it, SBAT, that's $40, compared to a stock that's 20 cents. You could literally buy like 50,000 shares. You could add 100,000 shares, right? So that's why most of the time you see his volume is the millions and it's just ripping face. That's why I said in my previous video, pennies are one of my favorite type of stocks to trade. The cheaper stocks I like more, rather than the ones that are more expensive or over 20 bucks. I don't really like those, but I do trade them from time to time. But the cheaper, the better. I like, $1, 50 cents, $2. So looking at it right now, this is a perfect multi-day candidate. I do think that this stock probably going to gap up in the pre-market based on the price action. You've been noticing a lot of morning time. You wake up, you check the scanner, right? In the morning time, you see a lot of stocks that ran the previous day and after hours. You see them up like 50%, 100%. And I see this every day lately, the past couple of weeks. So AEYE, I do think this could probably gap up. Who knows, maybe like towards 50 cents. But again, nothing's guaranteed. It all depends on price action, because none of us are like magician, right? Nobody could just because you want to push, make a stock rip 200%. So this is in the real estate sector type of stock. I did some quick research. It's the real estate sector. It's a really interesting sector, because in the past couple years ago, I remember making bank on these real estate. It's called REITs or something, where I forgot the name. I think it was like AH something, the stock, and ended up ripping like 1,000%. So it's a really nice sector. Keep an eye on this one. Nice pick to this person. Next one, GCTK. This person said GCTK bullish on it. I remember this stock, I think I banked hard on this one. This is a micro nano float. Anything under 1 minute float, you just go completely vertical, like to space type of action. It's like one of my favorite, right? The 400K float. So this one is like a diabetes type of stock. And if you remember what I said earlier in the video, anything diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer, Parkinson, like we really need to find cures for these type of diseases, right? And this stock is in the diabetes sector. Looking at it right now, it's just ripping face. It looks like it's multi-day type of name. And again, this is a similar stock, just like the one I mentioned in the previous one, AEYE. I do think there's huge potential for a pre-market squeeze, but who knows what's gonna happen, right? As long as there's no like offering or any type of sell-off. This stock, I'm definitely going to add it to my watch list as well, because I really like the float, 400K, and good pick to this person, GCTK. Next one, RIOT. This one is a crypto type of stock, right? If you remember what I said, crypto, very, very hot sector. And this person is saying RIOT broke a big resistance. So anytime a stock breaks a big resistance, you really want to keep an eye on it, because oftentimes it continues, because bears, they get short squeezed. Most of the time they cover, which means close their position once the stock rips past the previous levels. Because if you're a short seller and you don't manage your risk, like you're gonna get blown up, in my opinion, speaking from experience. So most shorts, unless they're like not wise, they have really nice risk management. So when a stock starts to break over a previous flat top or previous area, they're gonna cover, right? So what happens if a stock covers, has big momentum in the sector, crypto, and on top of that, it's in an uptrend, it's gonna rip face, right? So nice pick to this person. Next play, SMR. This is from the same person. It's a modular reactor type of play. This is I think more of a large cap. I generally don't trade anything that's high float or large cap. I used to trade Tesla, Uber, those type of bigger stocks like SPY, S&P, but I stopped. But this one, looking at it, high float, 125 million float. And this one, again, looks like it's in a pretty much just blue sky type of rip uptrend. Really nice pick. I think this person may be investing in it, because these type of expensive stocks, like $50, $100 stock, Apple, those bigger stock, most people hold it for a long period of time compared to just buying, get in, get out within a day, right? So I think this person is investing. I don't know. But yeah, the stock is just breaking new highs, and it's in a really interesting type of sector, modular reactor. You could look it up. I think it has to do with hydrogen. And interesting pick. You said about the psychological level, $50 break. I say that as in my videos as well. I say anytime a stock breaks psychological level, $1, $50, $100, really, really important levels to keep an eye on. So last stock for the video, GNS, and I might just talk about TMC as well. Those two stocks a lot of people really like, maybe HTTI as well. So first, HTTI, that stock really thick. I say many times in my videos, I'm just being 100% honest. You're likely not gonna see a move up or down unless you see a big type of swing, like a big type of catalyst or a resistance break or a liquidity trap type of action, right? So HTTI, a lot of people seem to really like the stock, but it's not really doing anything. I'm curious, guys, if you're watching this video, you have HTTI, what's your plan? What's your average or what's your plan for the stock? Because I mean, looking at it every day, I added it to my watch list long time, I think like a few weeks ago. And I'm looking at it because a lot of people seem to really like it and hit me up about it. And I want to be bullish on it as well, but I'm not really seeing any movement. So what's your plan on it? Do you plan on investing in HTTI or what's your thesis? So I can maybe make another video on it. So that's HTTI. Next one, TMC. I mentioned many times in my videos. TMC is a really hot sector with the Trump administration, right? With these type of stocks. And the daily chart is consistently breaking new highs. I mentioned it many times for a long time now, months I think, or weeks. And I do think that it could go to 10 plus, which is a lot of people's price targets. But if a lot of people have the same price target at, let's say, $10, it could not be a best thing, because like when everybody plans to sell something at the same thing, that's not really the best scenario. But I do think TMC has more than that, more than traders. I think a lot of people are actually looking for the long run type of investing type of side, right? Because this stock could end up just keep growing, and a lot of shorts seem to be trapped in as well. So TMC, really nice pick for the bulls. I'm happy for everybody that banking on TMC. Next stock, GNS. This is the most popular small cap in my opinion for this year, at least in the past couple of months. I haven't seen a small cap that's more popular than GNS, and it's rightfully so, because this stock has a story behind it. Like the CEO Roger Hamilton and Kevin Malone are fighting the fight right against, it's like a big movement similar to AMC, GME, GameStop, which is like revolutionary. So I do respect that a lot, because I'm mainly a bull. I don't short. I don't like the idea of shorting, and I did used to short in the past, but it wasn't a long time, and I don't short at all anymore. I'm like just a bull. And I really respect what they're doing with this company. And like I said in the previous videos, I do think that stock's gonna be more grindy type of action, which is expected. First of all, it's a higher float. Second, the Bitcoin news is really good, but like I said, I really want the stock to go higher without news. That's the most optimal scenario. So it's not really like a sell the news type of event. I want to see a grinder natural uptrend towards 2+. And then if good news comes out, like the catalyst, they could just explode, rip face, squeeze momentum towards 5. But a lot of people seem to have higher price targets on the stock. I've seen people saying this stock go to like $100, or some people even saying this is like a generational wealth. I had like 3 people say that, and I'm optimistic. And everything I say is not financial advice. Everything everybody's saying is not financial advice. I'm optimistic and on this stock. And I do think that this week is going to be a lot better than the previous week, where the previous couple of days you saw more of like a selling off type of action. But it wasn't really a selling off. It didn't really look more like selling off in terms of panic. It looked more like people were just maybe taking profit type of, that type of selling, where it's like a pullback type of action. And I say many times the daily chart is still looking really nice. And it's just going towards that base, that nice level that you want to monitor. I think towards $1. A lot of people will be interested in picking up GNS at $1, in my opinion, just based off of just previous action alone. You should let stock go to $1 and then just pop off towards like 2. It went to like, I think 192, or you could check 195 it went to, or 192 after it tested that $1. So GNS, I don't think it's going to go under $1. Like I'm pretty much like likely it's not going to go under $1. But ideally, if it does pull back more, then that just means more people are going to be interested in, right? Think about it. if someone wanted to get in at 170, it goes to $1. And this stock has many, many catalysts down the line. That's what Kevin Malone said, right on Twitter, I think. So what do you think is gonna happen? People are gonna buy it, in my opinion, and it's just gonna go back up. So if you're not following them on Twitter, I recommend to follow them. They give updates a lot. And I'm monitoring so many stocks every day that I can't really just focus on GNS. So I might forget something. So if you really want to do more DD on it, follow both of them, Roger Hamilton and Kevin Malone on Twitter, right? They're very active. And if you have any more questions or stock ideas, write down in the comments, guys. I like helping people, which is why I started the channel. I just want to help people and share my opinions. And we're going to have a great next week, in my opinion. This week for small caps, other than like 2 days, I think it was mainly more slower and more choppy compared to the previous week. There was like, I think 2 days, which was crazy. And then the following 2 or 3 days, it was more like slow. And there was like kind of dropping type of action, right? So appreciate you guys. And have a great weekend, guys. I'm outside right now. Really nice weather. And I'm excited for next week. All right, Stock Catcher signing out, guys. Have a great day.